Welcome back to the Dinar Community Channel. They told you the RV was a myth. The elites knew better. Now, one hidden signal is lighting up global banking systems, and it's the confirmation dinar holders have been waiting for. For years, the Iraqi dinar (IQD) has been the focus of passionate debate, speculation, and hope. Investors, economists, and political insiders alike have wondered when, if ever, the revaluation (RV) of Iraq's currency would take place. Many claimed it would never happen. Others quietly accumulated dinar, prepared for a moment that always seemed just beyond the horizon. But now, a signal has emerged, subtle to most, yet thunderously clear to those who know what to look for. It's the signal the elites have been watching closely, and it may be the clearest confirmation yet that the RV isn't just coming, it's already underway. The revaluation of the Iraqi dinar has long been a subject clouded in secrecy, skepticism, and silence. But behind closed doors, powerful financial institutions, global banking networks, and international policy architects have been positioning themselves for a shift that could disrupt the entire fiat currency paradigm. As whispers grew louder in early 2025, certain moves began to catch the attention of those who understand the financial world's inner workings. Not random speculation, not conspiracy theory, but coordinated, traceable activity, strategic placements, foreign currency hoarding, and bilateral agreements with Iraq that point towards something massive brewing beneath the surface. What is this one signal the elites are watching? It's not a headline on mainstream financial news. It's not a press release from the Iraqi government. It's something far more significant and subtle. The silent activation of Tier 1 banking systems with IQD exchange protocols running in test environments, and now, in some documented cases, in limited-use pilot programs. These test systems have been verified by insiders as being live in specific branches of major US and European banks. The system isn't public, and it's not available to everyday investors. But it's real, and the very existence of it reveals a truth too large to ignore. In mid-2025, several developments coincided that broke the long-standing silence. Iraq's Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani held high-level meetings with IMF and World Bank representatives, during which the dinar's valuation metrics were reportedly reviewed under confidential conditions. Just weeks later, multiple Tier 1 banks, known for global influence and tight alignment with international financial policy, quietly updated their internal foreign currency rate sheets. These updates, while not public, began to reflect exchange placeholders for the IQD that were significantly higher than the long-held market rate. What followed next was even more revealing. Private clients, high-net-worth individuals with direct banking relationships, began receiving soft nods from their wealth managers about preparing portfolios for liquidity events connected to foreign currency positions. In several such cases, the IQD was explicitly mentioned, not as a dead asset, but as a rebalancing priority. That kind of language doesn't appear unless a structural change is anticipated. It was confirmation that something monumental was taking place behind the scenes. The single signal the elites are tracking isn't simply that banks are testing exchange systems. It's that these systems are now being linked across borders, in real-time coordination between Western banking hubs and Middle Eastern financial institutions. Blockchain-based settlement mechanisms, long considered theoretical for cross-border exchanges of emerging market currencies, are now operational in a handful of pilot institutions. Iraq is central to this testbed. The nation's central bank has upgraded its digital reserve protocols, and sources indicate that a new digital currency ledger for the dinar is already functioning as a shadow mechanism parallel to the old fiat model. These developments were never meant for public consumption. But the cracks in the wall are widening. A recently leaked internal memo from a European bank included explicit instructions for the activation of IQD redemption desks under a special compliance protocol titled S3QD, rumored to stand for Special Sovereign Settlement, Quantum Dinar. While the authenticity of this memo remains under review, multiple former banking executives have confirmed that such naming conventions are typical of secretive pilot projects shielded from public scrutiny. All of this comes as Iraq's economy has stabilized in ways that few would have believed possible even 2 years ago. Oil exports have surged, new infrastructure deals with China and Russia are being finalized, and the country has paid down billions in foreign debt. The Central Bank of Iraq has rapidly built up its gold reserves and announced a string of regulatory reforms designed to bring its monetary policy in line with Basel III international standards. These aren't random changes. they're preparatory moves designed to transition Iraq from a devalued currency regime to one that is sovereign, asset-backed, and globally respected. For elite investors, this shift isn't just about Iraq. It's about the broader global financial realignment. With the BRICS alliance pushing for de-dollarization and emerging economies turning toward asset-backed monetary systems, the IQD is now seen as a linchpin in the new economic order. It's no coincidence that the IMF has recently amended its internal guidance on foreign reserves to include a framework for the digital issuance and valuation of restructured sovereign currencies. Iraq is named in those documents, albeit buried in technical footnotes and coded economic language. But the implication is unmistakable. The RV is real, and it's happening in stages. Some skeptics argue that until an official announcement is made, all of this remains speculative. But they fail to understand how global financial transitions work. These changes do not begin with press conferences or public declarations. They begin with systemic shifts, banking systems being recalibrated, settlement infrastructure quietly going live, and high-level liquidity events being prepared in controlled environments. That's exactly what's unfolding now with the IQD. Why are the elites watching this signal so closely? Because they know what happens next. Once the systems are fully tested and validated, and once Iraq has demonstrated the legal and fiscal stability to support a new rate, the public phase will begin. But by then, the gates will already be closed to the general investor. Quiet accumulation will end, and a new global reality will take its place. Those who were prepared will benefit. Those who dismissed the signs will be left behind. In the days leading up to this new phase, additional signals continue to emerge. A senior executive at one of America's largest investment firms was overheard discussing the Iraqi shift as part of a post-dollar diversification strategy. His comments, shared in a closed-door financial forum, indicated that funds are already being allocated in anticipation of monetary normalization for the dinar within the next quarter. This is not ordinary speculation. This is financial war gaming, elite-level planning for a future that includes a revalued IQD. Further reinforcing this trend is the activity at international airport currency kiosks. Several recent reports have indicated that IQD transactions are being tracked with heightened scrutiny by Customs and Border Patrol, particularly large cash movements. Why? Because regulators know what's coming. Currency that was once treated as worthless souvenir paper is now being viewed as a potential financial instrument with real future value. That's not a shift in policy. That's a shift in reality. The confirmation that so many have been waiting for may not come in the form of a televised announcement. Instead, it's unfolding in real time, through systems, through signals, through strategic moves by the most powerful players in the world. The elites aren't just watching, they're acting. They're moving money. They're preparing portfolios. They're having quiet conversations with the few who understand the code behind the headlines. And that code is flashing bright green. There's a reason private banks are issuing internal security briefings to their staff regarding currency event protocols. There's a reason the IMF and World Bank have scheduled closed session reviews of Iraq's monetary policy trajectory. And there's a reason digital asset platforms connected to sovereign reserve systems have started listing placeholder entries for the IQD. The pieces are all aligning, and the signal is no longer subtle. So where does that leave everyday investors? It leaves them at a critical crossroads. The window for positioning is narrowing. The time to research, prepare, and structure your financial strategy is now. The opportunity that once sounded like myth is becoming manifest. But as with all historic shifts, the window opens only briefly before slamming shut again. The IQD's revaluation is no longer a question of if, but when. And in truth, that when has already started. It's playing out in the shadows, where only those with access, awareness, and preparation can truly benefit. The signal is clear to those willing to look beyond the noise. It's not in the news. It's not on social media. It's in the systems, the spreadsheets, the soft whispers of the elite preparing for something massive. RV confirmed. To the world's financial insiders, the answer is yes. Not with words, but with action. And for those watching the one signal that truly matters, the time to act has already arrived. Like and subscribe for more videos.